there's the end goal. There's so many different avenues in which to get to that.
Yeah.
And, I don't want this to be cliche, but that is that is born from, that stems from our slogan. Yeah. There's always a way.
There's always a way.
And it really does link, to some people, it's just words.
Yeah.
But actually, when you break it down, it's true.
Yeah.
We was looking for a slogan for years and we could never find it. And what we realised is our ethos was, there's always a way.
There's always a way is put perfectly. That describes us to a T.
Yeah. So what's your take on where that's come from then?
We was all thinking, it was Simon that thought of that, wasn't it?
One day, Susanna, I'll give the credit to her actually, said the slogan should be "There's always a way."
Luigi says Susanna.
Oh.
Was it? Oh, Sue, sorry. Right. So, Nico, who came up with "There's always a way"?
Susanna.
Oh, brilliant.
Everyone was like, yeah, there's always a way. That's the motto we truly, truly do live by, to the point where we've gone and trademarked it, and we're the only logistics company now with "There's always a way" TM.
Yeah.
And I love saying that TM because it means it's ours.
Yours. With the "There's always a way," did you use that term like just in the office anyway? When someone would say, we're not going to be able to get that delivered, we're not going to be able to do that, and one of you would kind of say "There's always a way," before it actually became a brand, which it has become now.
Anytime someone in the office or someone surrounding me says, "Oh, you can't do that," you can't do that.
Yeah.
I see that as I want to do it so much more. Like I want,
you want to
prove it can be done, and it happens on many, many occasions where it can't be done is 10 minutes later we're doing it.
So say if it's like really, really difficult job, and someone in the team is saying, "Look,
That's
Simon,
impossible.
we just can't do it. We can't. Yeah, it's impossible."
You got to think outside the box. Everything's possible.
So you'll encourage them to find a way.
And they do.
What's the reaction on people's faces when they've said it can't be done, and then you kind of...
It's all right, okay, yeah, okay, all right, okay. But it happens it happens weekly.
There's always a way. That isn't just it is a company slogan, but we use it as a bit of a training tool.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't quite know how to do something. There's always a way. So think outside the box.
Yeah.
How are you going to do it? Sometimes it's not scripted. It's not in the manual.
No.
Think, the customer needs this.
Yeah.
You use your initiative.
We thrive off challenges. We won a request to come in, Mission Impossible. That's what we want. That's why people come to us, to be honest with you. I'm not the cheapest at all. Our clients know that, but they know we're reliable, solid, and we'll always provide you a solution.
If we do it, let's do it right.
Let's do it right.
Because this is what is different
Yeah.
and makes us go forward and further away than everyone else.
Yeah.
We have no limits, like we say, if there is a line, cross it so you don't see the line.
I always push against the grain. I always push against the norm of what can be done. And I mean, you could speak to some of our customers who deal with us day to day, and there's countless times that Lobina is known for finding a solution when many other transport companies can't.
We see situations many a times where we're transshipping or we're picking up from a competitor's warehouse because they haven't got the availability.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's because the other companies struggle. I just think it's because when a challenge gets sent to us, I personally get excited. I think, bloody hell, yeah. I need a truck within the hour. They're closing it. Oh, yeah, sorry, there's no option until tomorrow. And I'm like, what? Another company saying there's no option until tomorrow. All right, let's get a solution. Let's put it on the desk and ring. So it's like a switch goes off in my head.
Yeah.
And it turns me into a maniac.
Okay.
That I need to find a solution. And I will ring that phone non-stop, number after number after number after number. Sometimes I'd ring 40 people at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
40.
Okay.
The 41st one, oh yeah, I have got a truck who can be there. Yeah, we can do it. We can load in 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
People give up on the second or third call.
I challenge anybody to ring choose 10 hauliers 10 logistic firms that say, I've got something urgent, it needs to go to Rome today,
Yeah.
9 out of the 10 will say, we don't go to Rome,
Okay.
as an example.
Yeah.
You come to us, we'll give you a solution.
Yeah.
And that's throughout the company, throughout the staff.
We never say no to any client. We never say that I can't, we're not gonna be able to.
What would be a mission impossible then?
An oversized load at the weekend or out of hours,
Yeah.
where some people might take a few days to get back to you with an option, or they might say, oh, we can only load next week or in 2 to 3 weeks,
Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks because of permits, where we'll probably give you an option to load the next day.
Wow.
Or within a couple of days. Or for example, we get a request at 3 p.m. saying this needs collecting before 4 p.m. You're less than 60 minutes. Things like that we thrive off, and that's what we want.
And you can actually achieve that. And
Yeah, we do achieve that.
okay.
Me and Simon are working on one at the minute, which is an ocean freight.
Okay.
A lot of companies would have just said, we don't offer that service. I'm sorry, go to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, yeah.
But then even down to a simple job that we would be expected to do to move a van from A to B.
Yeah.
You know, I suppose you could also describe there's always a way of think outside the box. We're not stuck in a lane. We're not stuck on a tram line.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to deviate.
Yeah. So a customer could ring up with absolutely anything and you'd somehow deliver it.
Oh yeah, I just received a call, we're talking 15 minutes ago. I need to collect in 90 minutes in Aberdeen,
90 minutes, yeah.
and deliver tomorrow in France, in Paris.
Okay.
The truck is already on the way. He's not booked, the truck is moving.
Yeah. Okay.
He has a flight booked for this cargo on Saturday from Paris.
Like when we get a request, we're often picking the phone up, asking people, oh, can you do this or that? Oh, no chance. They don't even entertain it. Like they might say, oh no, my truck's too far away, not interested.
Yeah.
We're like, it doesn't matter about the cost, let me know what you need, I'll pay you extra. But yeah, some people are just not interested. No, sorry, it's 5 o'clock, I'm going home. They're not interested or even entertain it. Whereas we thrive off that. We never say no.
I mean, I treat no as a game. I get excited when someone replies and says no.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
No, I think it's extremely successful people have that. It's rare.
Yeah, I can't explain it. It's just something that when I get told no, makes me want to do it 10 times more.
Okay.
And I get a buzz out of it.
Yeah.
It's like my addiction is
Yeah.
being told no. And because of the unique industry that we're in,
Yeah.
a lot of people say no.
Yes.
So it's like a perfect match.
Yeah.
That you get a lot of no's, and then somebody who thrives off the no's,
you're going to cut through.
you're going to
and
cut
get
through.
that
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to cut through. You're going to
Okay.
break through it.
Someone's coming to us with an urgent shipment, we're giving them a price and we've got to go and sort it.
It's conscientiousness as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, so, okay, say if it's your anniversary, you've
Yeah.
just got that phone call at 6 o'clock, you're both on your way to a really nice meal.
Work comes first and there's always a way.
Yeah.
We even risking it to lose money
Yeah.
to accommodate the client.
Okay. So why would you do that? Why would you want to risk money to please the client?
Well, because it's worth. Because I told that I can collect in 90 minutes before 6 o'clock the closing.
So you've already told the client we can do it, so therefore you're going to do it.
Yeah,
You
I'm already doing it
You're doing it
without them even confirming me go.
because you know it needs to be done quickly, just to get the job done. Because like, there's always a way.
Correct.
This isn't just local deliveries that need to be done, is
No.
it? This is like time critical.
Our list of
jobs.
clientele is scary.
When I think Simon says it's scary, I think he means it in a good way. As scary, exciting. Not scared or panicking or worrying about anything. It excites me. It excites me. I think it excites everyone. I don't think anybody's scared, to be honest.
You're not put off by challenge.
They want to.
We've got some very, very big names under our brand of Lobina, to a point where any big external company come in and do an audit and see the names of customers that are actively buying off us, they'll think, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, for us, it doesn't matter if you are a large blue chip company or a one-man band, you get the same level of service. Yeah.
The type of logistics that we do, now we're branching off into different things, but the main core element of it was critical. Anything that we touched, if you're the only person that can provide a solution, you better know that that job is urgent as hell.
Yeah.
And with the job being very, very urgent, comes a huge amount of pressure from the client's expectations of you.
Yeah. from the moment you get it, it's a real challenge, and like you
Yeah.
have no clue
And then you have to-
necessarily how you're
There's
going
one
to do it.
there's one thing winning the job. There's another thing
You
executing it.
have to execute it.
Yeah.
Because it's only in the execution that comes the client satisfaction.
Of course, you're only as good as your last job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Throughout COVID and since COVID, we haven't had a real customer go bang on us, shall we say.
Yeah.
And that's thanks to Luigi and the team
Yeah.
and the future of the business, of the quality of the clients.
Yeah, because you're actually able to service them and actually get what they need when they need it.
Yeah.
Because if you can't, and you can't deliver, and you've got an aircraft on the ground for, 2, 3, 4 hours or longer, that's some real costs to that
Yeah.
company.
Post-Brexit custom rules, like how have they, I don't know, affected the logistics and
It's made everything a lot more complicated.
yeah.
Before Brexit, you could do partial loads, you could just load and go. Everything was so much simpler and easier before Brexit due to the customs, obviously, and paper. It complicates everything.
Okay.
Does it create more opportunities for us now? Yes, I do believe it does. 100%.
Customers, clients will need Lobina to actually facilitate
No,
jobs
yes,
more.
Lobina doesn't always handle clients' customers. When I'm saying it makes everything a lot more complicated, it's not just it's for everybody. Anybody that does the transport.
Yeah.
Because we often do jobs where Lobina Customs isn't involved, but it complicates things. For example, in the past or even now, could be an urgent job
Yeah.
that needs to load now and deliver tomorrow, but because it's out of hours, they might not be able to do a certain customs formality, and it will have to wait till tomorrow.
Okay.
And therefore, it's just not going to go. That job's going to be delayed, and if they wait till tomorrow, it might be done on a routine service. Whereas if it could have gone last night, it could have paid whatever.
By definition, we are a European road freight forwarder
Yeah.
who is in the throes of moving into air freight. So therefore, maybe in other working environments, you're asked to do a job that's outside of that jurisdiction.
Yeah.
You would say no.
Yeah.
Well, Luigi would empower everybody to not say no.
Okay.
You want to move something via ocean, it's never, oh, Lobina don't do that. It's, okay, give me the details, I'm going to get you a solution.
Yeah.
What role does technology play in optimizing logistics?
We invested in a system called Pulse.
Yeah.
We've developed it in-house. Everything and anything we've done gets put on this system. It's great because it continuously grows with the business.
Okay.
So
So that would be like an initial client request.
yeah. So everything from right up from the job confirmation, job goes on the system, collection
Okay.
address, delivery address, and we've just, and I believe, don't quote me on this, that we're one of the first forwarders to be able to do this. A client will be able to send us a job, and we will be able to offer them full tracking end to end, and that's for any size vehicle, whether it's from a van all the way through to a wide and heavy load.
So they can be reassured that
Yeah,
where
they
this
can
is
log
and
into,
how
they can
actually
just
it is
tap a
going.
link on the phone and know exactly where their cargo is 24 hours a day.
We know we're good, and we know that we'll always supply you with an option.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of our strongest points. Yeah, along with service.
I suppose the two go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, they do go hand in hand, yes, but you don't always get that. For example, you could get an option, a good option, let's say, that needs a really hard request. You get the haulier, they charge a fortune, but the service is shit. Yeah. But our service level is always exceptional, shall we say.
From everything I've seen from Lobina, it is. And, the growth is testament to that, isn't it? I don't think you can grow a successful company if you're not giving good service and delivering on promises, really.
We're always trying to go above and beyond. We want to stand out from the crowd, from the rest, from the other competition.
Yeah.
So that we've got to do things that others aren't, that makes us stand out and be appreciated, and the client want to come back to us and use us, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
The fact that the team see you going so far to get the yes, do they do that?
Yes. When we was an earlier company,
Yeah.
I had Vidas, who's my operations manager,
Yeah.
Nico, who's an operations manager. We worked together. We fucking grinded hard,
Yeah.
all of us,
Yeah.
all the three of us, where we would share the night shifts between us. It wasn't a case of coming in 9 till 5. That doesn't exist when you're trying to build something great. With Vidas, with Nico, we used to say, right, okay, who's doing it tonight? We used to win loads of jobs, update them through the night. I remember not one night, countless nights, You'd set your alarm every 30 minutes through the night to wake you up
Yeah.
to see what jobs was on schedule and what jobs was going wrong.
So how many like hours in between did you have? You just like
Every 30 minutes I'd have to glance at my phone.
Wow. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the customer expects service.
Yeah. You're offering a 24-hour.
We're offering a 24-hour service, and it still was a 24-hour service. It just meant us working 24 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
no one sees that. The customer doesn't know.
No.
You're kind of a bit hidden from your client. You're not necessarily direct every day. Do you think your clients and your suppliers kind of see what happens every day in terms of the passion that you've got?
It's a passion for the business, isn't it? It's always wanting the business as well. I mean, people do you know that are afraid to ask for the order?
Yeah.
And if you're spending your money, you want to give it to somebody that's wants your business.
Yeah.
And somebody that asks for your business as well. But mainly, I always say you've got to earn your trust.
Yeah.
Earning the customer's trust is key. It's about servicing the customer, earning the trust.
And keeping that consistent approach.
That's important to us.
Yeah.
All businesses would say this, but Lobina actually do genuinely care about the outcome for their customer.
Yeah.
But in my old place of work,
Yeah.
they didn't care. They didn't care how they got to it. Whereas here, that's where being fluid, because let's ensure that we're giving the customer what we promised that we're going to give them.
Yeah. And this goes back to trust as well, doesn't it? So someone, a company, a client, person entrusts you with getting something from A to B, you have to do it, because otherwise you're going to break that trust, aren't you?
Yeah.
How do you gauge that then with the people you work with your staff, clients? How do you measure that trust?
The trust is if somebody's ringing you at 6 o'clock in the evening on the way home saying they've got a problem, they're trusting you to sort it.
Yes.
They're making one phone call and you're going to sort it.
Yeah.
To me, when that particular person, that particular warehouse man or logistics man or operational manager rings you and say, I've got a problem, and he's on his way home, an hand grenade's just been thrown in and he's ringing you, you know you've got the trust of that person to sort it.
Yeah.
You don't break that trust.
No.
You service it in the right manner.
Where's that come from then in you? Have you had that since a boy, since growing up, like kind of where's that
I
sense
say
of...
so. It's key. It's key. I'm the type of person want to earn your trust,
Yeah.
but also give it as well.
Yes.
How would you prove that Lobina does go the extra mile? Like, what evidence have you got to support that?
If a customer presents us with a challenge, we see a challenge as an opportunity. You know, something goes wrong. We've had one today. A job's gone wrong.
Yeah.
And the carrier has rang us to get them out of it. For us, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
They've had to call upon what would be perceived as a competitor to get them out of a hole.
Yeah.
We wouldn't dream of doing that.
No.
We've put ourselves in a situation where we're in a hole,
Yeah.
or the cards have been dealt where we're in a hole. Let's get ourselves out of it. Because what matters to us is at the beginning of this journey, we told the customer that cargo would be in that location at this time.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what happens in between.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure that we're going to do it. Customers will say to me all the time, I don't need any more carrier contacts. I've got loads. And, you know, in tongue-in-cheek, I'll say, they all say that until they experience it.
Yeah.
But, you know, feedback is important, right? In any business, feedback is important.
Yeah.
And, you know, genuinely, you can see the love and the passion that the staff implement into every job.
Yeah.
You know, let's be under no illusion. We're in a saturated market. There's lots of us.
Yeah.
And we're not just another, you know, carrier or another freight forwarder. We're a carrier that cares and will do the job.
Yeah.
And the positive feedback that we get is, you know, the amount of customers that said, I wish I'd have come to you sooner.
Yeah.
Now, me and Luigi went to a meeting a couple of weeks ago, a big customer, and they turn around and says, thank goodness you're finally here. I've been chasing you because I want to work for you. You know, we do have a good reputation in the business.
Yeah. And there must be a huge sense of achievement when you actually achieve a job.
Oh, yeah. You know, for example, quoting a client that's got requests that's very difficult to win in terms of price. Yes, and you're digging deep each day trying to find an option, and you knowing there's a slim chance of winning that.
Yeah.
We still need to show up and keep trying and digging, trying to win that. Yeah, and that's hard sometimes. Yeah, we all do that. We all need to do that.
Yeah.
So when you get the yes,
Yeah.
you've rung 40 people, you got loads of no's, you finally get the yes.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I've conquered the world.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm just trying to find a truck. And yeah, we're making a little bit of money. However, put the money aside, it's about the fact that 20 other companies or 20, not 20
Yeah.
other companies, because in them companies, there's 10 people in each company. There's 100 people who's worked on this request
Yeah.
and said, no, it's too much. No option. And we're the guys who grind that extra bit out of all them businesses and put a solution through to the customer. And that's why we've grown to where we have.
Yeah.
Because everybody goes the extra step, but not everybody pushes through the nose.
Yeah,
and
you're
we
right.
push through the nose.
Yeah, it's like a real common kind of copyright is, you know, we go the extra mile. Every company is professional. Every company goes the extra mile. But what does that really mean? Do you go the extra mile? Do you like push through, push until you get a solution for someone? And I know that Lobina do, and I've seen that happen.
That's a competitive edge that you as a company have got, because it will make you complete jobs that others may not. They may give up halfway through.
Well, story from today. I was so happy that somebody failed. Competitive company who was chosen for instead of me. Okay. And the client calling me up and he says, I have a problem. He let me down. Help me. And I dig him out of the hole and car goes back on the road.
Brilliant.
So now I'm like with the medal on my chest without it, yeah?
Yeah.
And I said, listen, next time call me faster. You know I can help.
So they turned you down initially.
Yeah.
But then they came back.
Correct.
Yeah. There's a real sense of pride and achievement there.
Yeah,
Well, that happens.
Your value just gone up big time.
That then comes down to kind of, I think, something else we've been talking about, which is passion and trust. You succeeded in that job, so the client will come back.
Correct. And you know how I finished the sentence on the phone? There is always a way.